What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brian. I served in combat with the U.S. Marines at the age of 20. I was a certified personal trainer for over a decade. I've also coached tons of men to peak performance. I've coached women as well. But today's topic is about how I haven't had a girlfriend in over 8 years. I've technically been single for 8.5 years. Now, it's not too often you actually hear someone say that. It's pretty crazy. Most of it's by choice, but yeah, I haven't had a girlfriend in over 8 years. And it's kind of a mix of things. So the last relationship that I had ended at the end of 2016. And I really just spent the last 8 years trying to build as much value into myself as possible and really try and fill my cup up with love first for myself, because you can't truly love someone else unless you know who you are and love who you are. And it's always this process of evolving and growing and learning more about ourselves. And there's never really a perfect time to put yourself out there and start, trying to have a girlfriend or have a relationship. But there is a more optimal time. And I see so many people rush into relationships when they're not ready, and they don't even know who they are or where they're going in life. And a lot of people just hop from one relationship to the next. But I have spent really the last 8.5 years just focusing on finishing my college degree, getting a nice physique that I was proud of, and just trying to level up on my career. But there was also a period of time where I fell down into the toxic red pill community for about 4 years. And I had some missed opportunities with some women that I think it could have been a good relationship, but I was in this hardcore red pill phase. And if you haven't seen my video on red pill, you should definitely check it out. Now, red pill as a whole, I think, is pretty toxic, and I didn't want to commit. I basically brainwashed myself consuming red pill content for years. And I do think that there are some good things in the red pill community, like understanding what hypergamy is and just trying to build yourself into as much value as possible. But over the years, as I had built up a physique and having done fitness modeling in the past and earning more money, tripling my income since where I was 6 years ago or more, becoming smarter, becoming a more valuable man, getting a new car. All these things that they say, status, Instagram followers, a nice car, getting the body, getting more money. Women don't really give a shit about this stuff. They really don't. It's all about the internal value. It's all about who you are as a man inside. Now, you should always be leveling up in life, and you should always be really trying to improve and upgrade and get after it. But modern dating today it's fucked, man. A lot of these women out here are very selfish, and they just care about themselves because they're all focused on the boss girl movement and their career. And not to say that there's not any good women out here, but I think about at least 70% of the women out here today are brainwashed, and all they care about is themselves and their careers and going on trips with their girlfriends. And we all know what happens on those trips. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I'm 33 now. I'll be 34 this summer. I have just recently started putting myself back out into the dating pool because I feel like I'm finally in a decent place in life where if I meet the right woman, it would be a nice compliment to my life. Because having the right woman in your life can add so much amazing value. A woman that's in her feminine energy, and if she has a career that she likes and she makes her own money, that's great. Actually, I would prefer to be with a woman who has her own job, has her own money, but she's still in her feminine energy and will allow me to lead. But I did get consumed in the red pill content for several years, and it really pigeonholed me. And I know a lot of guys out here are getting consumed in that as well. There's also something else I struggled with for a long time, and this is probably the biggest thing that kept me single. I was very closed off emotionally. I had a lot of armor on. I was in the military, and I had a lot of armor on. I've been hurt a lot, just like a lot of other guys, like everybody else, cheated on, putting effort into a relationship, and then it doesn't work out, and the woman isn't, there's not a reciprocal relationship there. And I just got tired of being burned, and I was like, you know what? I know who I can count on. I can count on myself. So I'm just going to keep building my life, keep building myself up, and eventually the right woman will just come into my life. She'll just walk into my life. And while that is kind of true, actually, they don't just come to you. There's a lie out there. The red pill community talks about, oh yeah, just get the money, just get the status, just get the job, just get the car, just get the blah, 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 get the body, and women will just flock to you and they'll come to you. It's not true. It's not true. It never happened with me. As a matter of fact, the most ripped I was in my entire life was a couple of years ago, and I definitely didn't get more attention from women. In some cases, it would be more attention from guys. So I realized that I was very closed off for a long time. I wouldn't even open myself up emotionally to get close to a woman because I was afraid to get hurt. And I know you might be able to relate to that right now. I also blocked blessings for myself. I would self-sabotage, mainly because I didn't feel worthy of love. And I always waited for the perfect time. When I finish college, when I get into a new career, when I'm making more money, when I get the body, when I get a new car, da-da-da-da-da. Win, win, win. If you're not happy now, you're never going to be happy. And there's never a perfect time to really put yourself out there. Of course, if you need to finish school and you need to get into a better career and make more money, look, dating is expensive. If you don't have money saved up, if you're not in a good place with your body and your career, you are better off just going all in on yourself and being single for a while, at least a year. Just pouring into yourself, going in a period of monk mode. But there comes a point when you get to a certain place, like I was, where I got the body, I got more money, got it to a good place in my career. I did the inner work, and I never felt like it was the right time. No, when I'm making this amount of money, when I get a new car, when I do this, and it was always win, win, win. And win never comes. Life is just going to continue to pass you by. I mean, we're not promised tomorrow, not next week, not next year. We're not even promised an hour from now. So you can't just have this perfectionist mindset of waiting until the perfect time. There's never going to be a perfect time. Now, if you're the person who is hopping around from one relationship to the next, you can't be single for too long, you should take time to pour into yourself and get to know yourself and really try and build yourself into as much value as possible, so you can have more options in the dating pool, and so you can really get to know yourself to figure out what you want in a woman. But if you're the guy who's like I was, where maybe you're in a good place with your body, maybe you're in a decent place with your career, right? Maybe you've done the work on yourself, but you're just waiting for the perfect time because maybe you just don't feel like you're ready enough. Look, we've all been hurt in the past. And we're always trying to improve our lives and add more value to ourselves, but there's never going to be the perfect time. And I understand that maybe you've gotten hurt in the past. Everybody's gotten burned. Everybody's gotten cheated on. Most people have. There's some guys that watch my channel that divorced, say they're never going to get married again. I mean, I can't speak on that because I've never been divorced, and I understand guys get the shit into the stick these days. So, but man, if you're watching this right now and you've been single for a while, it's okay. It's fine. It's your life. Don't worry about what anybody else says. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. You have family pressure, or all your friends are getting married, settling down, having kids, or they have their person. It's not a big deal, man. Your life is your life, and your life is a story, and your story is different than my story. We're different people. We have different stories, right? Because that's how life is. But I think a lot of the times we can block our own blessings as well because we're not open to receiving, you know? And don't have a doomer mindset. There are good women out here, okay? You just have to put yourself in the right environment to meet them. I've recently started using the dating apps. I won't spend more than 20 or 30 minutes a day on it, but Hinge is really the only decent one. And you just got to know what to look for in these women. Like, what are your values? Okay, you definitely don't want to date a woman who is putting her Instagram handle on her Hinge profile because she's just looking for validation. You don't want that. But I don't know what you want, because what you want is going to be different maybe than what I want. But I know what I want. I want a woman who has the same religious and spiritual beliefs, who has good morals and good values. And I don't want a girl who's got all like weird piercings and septum piercings and a bunch of tattoos and stuff. I mean, it's definitely a more masculine trait to have tattoos. I want a feminine woman who's fun, who brings good energy, who brings peace into my life. And so, you know, they talk about how, oh, just get your life together and eventually the right woman will come along. Yes and no. You definitely need to pray about it. Ask God to bring the right woman in your life. But you have to put some effort into it, because any feminine woman is not going to lead. She's not going to initiate and pursue you. Now, there's a big difference between pursuing and chasing. We never chase anyone, but men are expected to initially pursue. And then if a woman is interested, she will reciprocate. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I just wanted to share some insights into why I've been single for over 8 years and haven't had a girlfriend. It's because I fell into the red pill community, and I was very closed off emotionally, and I had a perfectionist mindset. I was always waiting until when I have the perfect, when I get here, when I get there. Life is just going to pass you by, man. There's never going to be a perfect opportunity. There is a more optimal time. If you have work that you need to do on yourself and your life, then you absolutely should focus on you for a while, because you don't want to bring someone else into your life. Having the right woman in your life should not be dramatic. It should not be stressful. It should just add a ton of value to your life. And if it's anything other than that, then it's the wrong move. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, comment down below something you're struggling with, something that you're going through, if any part of this resonated with you, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.